Hi guys, and welcome to Unity tutorial of a camera control using X and Y axis so that we can roll around. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a plane there. So we'll just right click, select 3D and go to plane. And in there you see this very plane, I'm going to make it, let's go for about 40 and 1 and 40. Okay, if you notice the scale is x-axis 40, y-axis is 1 because it doesn't have any volume, z-axis is 40. Next, I'm going to right click and let's add is fair, and this is very fair. I'm just going to make the size, let's go for about 4 by 4 by 4 so that you guys can see. There we go, that is it. I'm going to now scroll right down and just add rigid body to it. There we go. And if you want, you can always right click here, the project area, go to create and let's select material and change the color of the material to whatever color you want, maybe something a little bit for the ball. So grab that very material, drop it on the ball. Right there, change the name of that very ball to player. There we go. Then I'm going to do two more things. Right click in here. I'm just going to add, let's add a capsule. Just increase the width, the XY axis of that capsule to about 5. And the width, I'm make it 5 as well. No, that's too much. Let's make it about 2. Then the Z axis 2 as well. Let's leave it there. So the ball will be rolling around. Then we can tell surely that the capsule, that's the camera is actually rolling. Now right click again and let's select something else. These are just as indicators for us that something is really happening. So let's make this 5 by 5 by 5 as maybe 2, 3, 6, 3. Okay, that's good. Let's move them aside. You can change their color as well. Right click, select material. Let's change their color to whatever. Right. So I'm going to make that maybe something blue. All right, that will do. Now, let's right click in here. Want to make sure the camera is officially following the ball. So, but before then, we need to put together some lines of code that control the ball itself. So, like I said, right click in here, go to create and select mono behavior scripts. And in there, I'm going to just call it a controller. All right. Once you have your scripts, double click on it to open up the editor itself. For the coordinate that is coming up. Now the coordinate is ready. Next thing we want to do is we have to declare variables in there. So I'm going to create a public variable right up here. That's going to be public. And I'll just call it, that's going to be a float, and the speed. Say the speed is going to be about 10. That's one. Then the next thing is I'm going to declare as well rigid body. So I'm going to say private. That'll be rigid body. I call it RB. Okay. So when the game starts, I want my rigid body here. So we just say RB, and that is going to be equals get component RB. So let's accept that. That is correct. So right underneath here, I'm going to get that update because the ball is going to be moving. I'm going to change this procedure to fixed. fixed update, okay, for the ball. And in here, let's use the following variables. Let's say float, let's say movement, that's move horizontal. So I'm just going to call that move H, or let's just write it out, move horizontal. And that is going to be equals input. So input, get axis, and that is going to be equals horizontal. There. See, the horizontal movement is an inbuilt variable, and I'm going to declare another one for the vertical. So copy that and just change it to vertical. So this one is going to be for vertical movements. Yeah, that's fine. And change this variable to vertical movement as well. Okay. Now that that is done, we now need to do the following. We just need to tell the system to do as follows using vector 3. So I'm going to say vector 3. That is going to be equals. Let's create another verb. And vector 3 is movement. That would be equals, sorry, equals the following. So new vector, new vector 3. I'm going to have to accept that. That will be the horizontal movement, vertical movement, and the 0, that's the z-axis. Okay, this is moving horizontal, this is moving vertical. So let's put the 0 dead center here. Just there. All right. There. Next, and I want to apply for some say radio, but RB dot add force. So that this ball will actually, and what is it moving is the movement. So in here, I'm going to multiply it with the speed. All right, that will take care of the ball movement. So let's save that for now and come right to our editor here, Unity editor. There we go, it's now compiling. So I should be able to just add that to the ball right there, and the ball, that is it. You can see player control, the ball is going to be moving at the rate of 10. Okay, so let's just run it and see. Then we take it from there. So if I click on the mouse, there we go. We can move the ball anywhere we want to move. But guess what? The camera is not following it. So now let's right click in here and create another mono behavior scripts and pull the camera. Just click on it. There we go. So the camera controller, please open it up. Let's see the class of camera controller. Let's do that again. Double click on the camera controller. There we go. That's it. See the class camera controller. Now with the camera controller, I'm going to create a public game object. So let's say public, say game object, and our game object is player. Yeah, yeah. Okay, next, I'm going to create one for the camera itself. We just call that. I'm going to call that vector vector 3D. That is going to be for the camera offsets. Hold on. Okay, now that that is in place, the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to start by saying camera offsets. This is still right here, and that is going to be equals transform dot position. I said that. Okay, that's the position of the camera here, minus that position of the player. So I set that as well. Now, this update, I'm going to change that to late. Okay, let the camera do something before the update takes effect. So wrap all of the camera position be equals the player position plus the camera offset. Offset there. So with this, the camera should follow the player. So let's save that first. And we drag the lines of code straight onto the camera itself. Let's see, it's coming up. There we go, that's the camera. Drag camera straight here. And it's now the variable is asking me, who do you want me to follow? I'm going to grab all of the player. Just dump the player there. So let's try that out, run. There we go, guys. See, the camera is now following that very ball. Anyway, the ball goes to, look at that. That's just me pressing the arrow keys. Right, now let's do one thing. We want to be able to rotate this camera 360 degrees. So to achieve that, what we need to do is open up our camera controller. Okay, I'm going to first of all create a floating variable there for the camera. So that would be the speed. So let's grab all of this. And I'm going to paste that in. So I'm going to say public floats, let's just call it rotation speed. So I'm going to make that 50. The camera to rotate at the rate of 50. Okay. Now that that is done, the next thing I'm going to do is let's create a function for this camera to rotate. So right underneath here, I'm going to right underneath there, I'll just say void. Let's call it undo camera rotation, something like that. Undo uh undo camera rotation. Okay. It's a statement. Wait, let's correct this here. Okay. Now in here, I'm going to say float rotation. First value for that is assigned to F. And here I'm going to use an if statement. If inputs dot get p, that's a get key. And if the key happens to be X, let's say key code dot X. Okay. That, in that case, that's going to be for anti-clockwise. So let's come right down here. I'm going to say rotation. Rotation will be equals. I'm going to set the rotation speed, but this time around it's going to be minus because it's anti-clockwise. Minus that's multiplied by time dot delta time. Let us set a delta time there. There we go. So the first one is taken care of. I'm now going to use else if now. Copy this. Else if this happens to be y, okay, if the key happens to be y, in that case, this is going to be plus. Okay, the rotation will be plus. I've taken off the minus. Now underneath here, I'm going to use if this happens to be not equals to 0. So grab hold of all of this. So if the rotation is not equals 0, then enter statement block. We want the following. We want the camera to, let's grab hold of the camera offset. You're going to be using Quaternion there. So camera offset, that is going to be equals Quaternion. That is what it's using calculating the camera rotation. Quaternion angle axis. Let me say rotation, comma, give me a vector 3D dot up. And right here, we multiply it, multiply by camera offset. There we go. Look at this. This time recognizes that. All right, I think that is that done. Now that that is done, next thing I now want to do is I'm going to go straight to my late update there. Just copy my camera handler, and I'm going to dump it right here. There we go. Enter, comma there. The next thing I want to do is I want let's say transform.look. Okay, and then it's here. Transform dot at the player transform. So let's see, player transform. And dump it in. And this there. So have a good look at those lines of code, guys. Let me increase that. Take it from the top. Bring it down. Yeah. I want to save that. And let's go to our editor here. We are now in our editor, so the code is already in the camera itself. So I'm going to run it now. Click on run. I should be able to use the X and Y key just to rotate around. So let's press X. You see that, guys? Look at that. That's me pressing X. I'm going to press Y. I should go clockwise and anti-clockwise. You see that, guys? And that is how you actually take care of your camera control using X and Y value, right? So to confirm once more, I'm going to open up this, okay, on screen keyboard. So I'm going to press the Y. Check that out. I'm going to press the X. See that, guys? Okay, that is how you create your own camera controller. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. And just before I say bye, let me show you guys the lines. Take it from the top. Bring it right now. There. So I'm going to say bye for now. You'll have a nice day now.